Well, actually, I'm a longtime city resident, lived here all my life. I have a 27-year-old son who is developmentally disabled, and therefore my interest in the Commission on Disability. I worked in various capacities, doing advocacy, basically, in my community, been on various committees for the Lanterman Regional Center, been involved with them for approximately 25 years. And that basically is one of my main interests in life, and actually to advocate for the developmentally disabled and the disabled population is something that I've been working for basically for the last 25 years.
Now, I looked at your resume here, quite impressive. You live in Highland Park?
Eagle Rock.
Eagle Rock. Eagle Rock. Did you go to Eagle Rock High?
No, I went to Sacred Heart High School in Lincoln Heights.
Lincoln, my mother went there.
Really?
Sacred Heart of Jesus?
Yes.
Yeah, she went there many
Wow,
years. She's
yes.
up in heaven now with Jesus.
Absolutely.
But wherever Jesus is, or Muhammad, or anybody else. I don't want to speak religion here in a public meeting, but God bless everybody. Anyway, that being said, I look at your resume. What is your most favorite job? Or could you say what it is? Now, I was going to guess here. The one that impressed me the most is you were a coach for the Special Olympics.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite all-time. That was just a really, really special time that I participated in for several years. And we would have yearly tournaments, one of them being bowling. It was in San Diego, and we got to go to one of the semifinals to San Diego. And it was kind of like semifinals, and of course the kids and the young adults were just absolutely fabulous. And the whole thing about it was that they enjoyed it tremendously. It really gave them something that they really could participate in.
Yeah, it's very important. And I think there'll be a bounce from the Olympic Games. The Special Olympics are having something later on.
Yes.
Fall, so that's very good. Esther, I'm going to recommend approval. Thank you for your service. This will come before the City Council when?
On Friday, August 8th.
Friday, August 8th, a week from Friday, which is great. And when you're on that committee, once you get on it, I want to arrange a meeting between your department and Recreation and Parks. Who's here for Recreation and Parks? Anybody? What's your special section for disability? Okay, good. We want to make sure there's a relationship and a nexus, and maybe you could push that.
Okay,
Thank you so
sounds
much.
great. Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
You betcha,
very
Ms.
much.
Martinez. Bye-bye now. Next item.
Item number 2 is a report from the City Administrative Officer relative to a contract amendment with U.S. eGolf for the automated golf and tennis reservation system.
Good afternoon, Councilmember. Delilah Johnston, CAO. The proposed amendment will extend the current term by 5 years, from 5 years to 10 years, beginning November 4, 2004 through November 3, 2014. The maximum allowable compensation will increase by approximately $598,000 to $987,000. The contractor is going to provide professional services for the installation, training, support, and repair relative to the automated golf and tennis reservation systems at various department facilities. The CEO recommends that Council approve and authorize the President and Secretary of the Board of Recreation and Park Commissioners to execute the amendment to the contract with U.S. eDirect Golf. There is no impact on the general fund. Department representatives are available to answer any additional questions you may have.
Anybody here from the department? It's a long way to the back of the room. Oh, no, that's because you worked in Rec and Parks, and you were probably in the gym, and you probably yelled at me when I was a kid saying, come back. Okay, just give us a quick overview, if you would, either one representative.
Bob Davis, acting golf manager.
Yeah, Bob, that's a microphone there, and that's a chair, and you're technically supposed to sit here.
Invite our golf operations supervisor and supervisor to the reservations office, Pete Fry, to answer any of your questions.
Okay. You work on a CSY?
I work at CSY in the
Right,
golf
okay.
division.
That's right. You know Mr. Ward?
He's my supervisor.
You ever meet his dad?
I certainly have.
Very
at
nice
the garden.
man. That's right. Okay. So the commission has already acted on this?
Yes.
And it's been reviewed by the city attorney?
That I don't know.
And it's the best,
Yes.
it's been reviewed by the city attorney. Yeah, it's the best opportunity to serve the people
Yes.
by extension of this contract. And why did we extend it?
We extended it because we need to upgrade the services that we're providing. As you probably know, golf is flattened, and we need to create opportunities to attract more golfers. So by upgrading to internet capabilities, 80% of the people who play golf, we have 30,000 subscribers to our system, and 80% of those have internet capabilities and would prefer to make their reservations
Instead of calling somebody.
instead of calling somebody.
Mr. Muckery approves this?
Yes.
All right, good. Ordered forthwith to council. When's it going to council?
You can go next week.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thanks. Say hi to Mr. Ward, both of them. Bye-bye now. When you say golf is flattening, do you think it needs a rejuvenation? Everybody loves Tiger Woods, but more,
Right now, we are experiencing a little decline because the interest rate rates tremendously.
right,
And I think in about 3 months, it should level out.
right.
But golf, like a lot of sports, has peaks and valleys. And you just,
We're in a valley. I had a complaint from a citizen on Oxford Street in Los Angeles today. He's a golfer, and people are smoking outside the smoking zones on the golf courses. Would you take that to Mr. Ward and tell him to remind people, that, and even starters and others, that they're not supposed to smoke it, but only in designated areas, period? We made it the exception because the golf, even though we don't want anybody to smoke in Griffith Park. But we remind him, have him call me on that. Make sure signs are posted. Next item.
Item number 3 is a report from the City Administrative Officer relative to a contract amendment with Michael Brandman Associates for environmental consulting services.
Good afternoon, Council. Veronica Salumbidas with the Office of the CAO.
All the microphones are different in City Hall lately. I don't know why, but they are.
The proposed amendment extends the term by 3 years from 9 years to 12 years and increases the maximum allowable compensation by $300,000 from $600,000 to $900,000. Funding for the as-needed environmental consulting services provided by Michael Brandman is available within the individual project budgets. There is no additional impact on the general fund. The CAO recommends approval. Department representatives are here to answer any questions you may have.
Want to have the department come up here? You know, some of these hourly rates, that means if you talk to the owner of the company, you got to pay $285 an hour?
Yes, sir, that's what their ongoing rates are.
I mean, that's whose rates are.
These are the consultants.
What if it's our rates? You know, we're giving them business. I mean, it seems like it's all broken down. That's what bothers me a little bit, you know.
So I think this will be the last amendment prior to our new process of going RFPs on all of these consultants, on all the environmental consultants.
Yeah, so why don't we wait for,
They have ongoing projects that they are assigned to right now, sir.
you know which ones?
Machado and Griffith Park right now.
What are they doing in Griffith Park?
They're doing.
They're doing the Griffith Park Recovery Wildlife Management Project.
You know, yeah, I haven't seen them, and I don't know, I'm in that park every day, so I don't know if these consultants are giving the city their effort there. Does Mike Scholl want this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll send it forth to council with that.
Thank you.
Okay, but I may have some questions on the hours. You know, that how do we choose, who do we talk to? If you could talk to a $92 an hour person as opposed to a $385, that's, and the $92 an hour guy is just as good, or woman. You know, I want to make sure we're doing it right, because I don't want you coming back in 2 years saying you need another year.
Right.
You know, you got to live within your budget, because you come all the time and asking for more, but I'm interested in Lake Machado, because, did you know Reggie? Yeah. That's where he lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what they did when they got him caught? You know what they did?
No.
They took him to the zoo. Did you know the very next day, they caught him on the freeway? They were driving down the 5 freeway. Did you hear this? You know, the CHP pulled them over, and they say, hey, where you going? And they said, well, you told us to take him to the zoo. We had such a good time. We said, we're going to Disneyland today. All right, so thank you. We'll move that forward. Next item.
Item number 4 is a motion from Alarcon Cardenas relative to establishing the hours of operation at Telfair Park in Sylmar in accordance with the sunrise to sunset policy.
Great. Consent and go forward. We look at our watch and we say it's sunrises at 5:31. What time does that mean? When do we allow people in the park, Kenny?
Our staff starts there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So it'd be 6 o'clock? And then at night, in summertime, it would be 8 o'clock?
The purpose of this motion is to have the Office of General Services Police lock the park for us. That's
Great.
the motion.
Super, go forward with it. But we're balanced in the sense that we don't, like as soon as the sun crests the west San Fernando Valley, we don't say it's sunset. There's a little, what we call,
30 minutes after we stop.
got it. Okay, they see it's dark. Great. And we give people warnings.
I don't close them, but I assume they do, yes.
Yeah, just tell you're the client. They're your telling me to give them a nice warning.
Yeah, they don't try to arrest them. They just
Got
get
it.
them out of the park.
You got it. Okay, forward. Thanks. How long have you been with the city, Kenny?
30, on my 37.
Wow, good job. Okay. Good to see you. Thank you. Next item.
Item number 5 are reports from the Department of Aging and the City Administrative Officer relative to grant funds from the State California Department of Aging and Senior Services contracts for fiscal year 2008-09.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Councilmember. Delilah Johnston, CAO. The Department of Aging requests approval of the 2008-09 budget and update to the 2008-09 area plan and standard agreements. The department also requests approval to accept grant awards, a total of $15,959,266, consisting of $13.6 million provided by the Older American Act, $666,000 from Older Californians Act, $1 million from Nutrition Services Incentive Program, and $585,000 from the Health Insurance Counseling Advocacy Program. These services will provide congregate nutrition, home-delivered meals, disease prevention, health promotion, family caregiver support, and elder abuse prevention.
So this is a large grant, right?
Yes,
Our most significant grant, right?
yes,
From the federal government.
from the state and federal government.
Right, good. Okay, good. And we're going to apply it right. We're going to follow all their rules and regulations and document it and serve the people. So I think we shouldn't talk anymore. We should move it forward to council.
I do have a
Question.
request.
Yes.
There's a recommendation in the CAO's report that the department do amendments instead of a contract, which has been our practice to issue annual contracts, and we would ask that we be allowed at least for this round to be able to continue our practice of issuing a contract, and we will report back to you.
As long as the CAO is okay with that.
Originally, sir, I recommended that the department execute amendments, which was authorized by council originally because, and the city attorney, because each council file, there's a new council file associated to each new contract, and the department was not authorized new contracts, or else they would have to follow the city's policies and procedures for RFP 1022, etc. They could do that if they follow the city's contracting policies. However, I do recommend that they continue with the amendments as authorized by council.
Which is against your request.
It is against our request.
Well, I got to go with the CAO, though. Tell me why?
Problem for us is that it's going to take, this is not something that I can do between now and the issuing of the amendments. This is going to take, our fiscal division is going to have to be revamped and have to do their process differently. Our monitoring of contracts, our providers have to be informed. In talking to a couple of my colleagues who have done this transition, the average length of time it's taken them is 2 years. I'm not.
Here's what we do. I'm going to not hold up the grant, but I want you two to meet before I come to council, and we'll decide this on city council with my colleagues.
Sure.
That would be.
Okay, move it forward there. But you guys meet. You know each other's numbers?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We will.
All right.
Thank
If you need a referee, Young G's available.
No, we should be able to work it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam CAO, if you could work it out and figure it out. Okay.
Item number 6 is a report from the LA for Kids Steering Committee relative to a Public Works Trust Fund loan for the South Los Angeles Wetlands Acquisition Project.
Cheryl Benars from the CLA's office. The LA for Kids Steering Committee submitted an addendum to the report before you that amends recommendation number 1 to state, authorize a loan to the Department of Recreation and Parks in an amount not to exceed $2 million from the Public Works Trust Fund, Fund number 834, Department 50, to be used as cash flow for the South LA Wetlands Acquisition Project to to be repaid by the state Prop 12 grant reimbursements. And that's the only change to the report.
Got it. So make that change, we'll move it forward.
Okay.
Next item.
Item number 7 is a report from the Department of Cultural Affairs relative to a $150,000 donation from the Durfee Foundation.
This is very good. This is positive. With the general manager of the Cultural Affairs Department, I don't know if they're here. I am looking there. Wait, where are they?
Hello, council member.
Hello. Good to see you.
Nice to be seen.
Okay, this is a very good donation.
Yeah, we're really excited about it because it allows us to establish an international cultural exchange program. It's a 2-year grant that the Durfee Foundation has given us, and we were able to put the required match through the budget process, so it's in our budget already secured.
$300,000.
Correct.
What do you think you could spend the 150 on?
Well, the Durfee Foundation has said that their money can only be used to support Los Angeles-based artists going abroad. And so that will, we're restricted to
That
that.
means airfare?
That means airfare, that means an honorarium, that means help with lodging, anything that would take to make the exchange
And where
possible.
abroad are you going to go? It's a big world out there.
It's a big world. We're going to do a request for proposals so that we will be able to get people to submit what their projects are. We are also trying to increase the money by making some strategic collaborative partnerships with certain countries or certain sectors. So, for example, I've already met with the Dutch Cultural Services Department in New York City and the French, and they're both interested, as is the National Performance Network, which is interested in Latin American and Caribbean exchanges. So we're trying to use the money that we have between the city and the Durfee Foundation to parlay it into even more money.
Right, we have 25 sister cities.
And they are more than eligible for
All right,
this.
so what the department should do is meet with the Office of Sister Cities, which is coordinated by Young G. Kim, and so we could at least inform their committees.
Absolutely.
Because possibly with the relationships that some of the cities have with the individual committees in Los Angeles, they would maximize your
Absolutely.
Commitment that you make there. Ms. Kim?
Yeah, Ms. Garay is participating already in our ongoing planning meetings for 2009, some of the highlighted anniversaries for some of the
Right, good, very good.
along with LA Inc.
Good, all right, well, great.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm really excited about it.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll
Okay.
move this forward to council.
Thank you.
And when you come to council, maybe have a brief report on that so that people
Okay.
can understand. And then another, how do we select the artist? And will
There's
the
gonna
artist
be a-
be from around, like will you say, I don't believe necessarily in strict quotas, but will there be someone from the valley, someone from the south side, harbor?
Well-
Try to get one, there's 7 regions of the city.
Right.
By planning regions. Try to get one from each region.
Well, we'll do our best. I mean, we're going to look at what the highest quality of proposals we get. So, but we always have peer review panels that help us make the selection, so
Right.
it's not the staff.
Just make a kind of a guide that there's a chair for everyone from all these different areas. So
Absolutely.
someone from the valley,
We'll
west side,
encourage
south
that.
side. And also, what if an artist says, I only fly business class?
Then they can pay for the difference.
The upgrade, that's good.
Yeah.
So that's a little thing.
Yeah.
It would be important.
Absolutely.
They get,
And,
they
you know,
can
and we
paint
were
the
going-
back of the tail of the plane.
Right.
You don't know who Wolfman Jack is, but I always
Yeah, I
thought.
do so.
You do? I always thought he was on the
Absolutely.
back of Alaskan Airlines.
That's how old I am.
Yeah, but I thought his picture was on the back of the Alaskan Airlines, but it's not.
It's not.
No, but it looks like Wolfman.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, you learn every day here at the Arts.
Okay,
Health
the
and
next two items are ours.
Well, hold on there, Madam General. The clerk's got to call that.
Sorry.
We got rules and regulations here. Okay, let's move that one forward. Next.
Next is item number 8, which is a report from the Department of Cultural Affairs relative to a $70,000 grant from the National Endowment for the Arts to produce the Charles Mingus Son of Watts musical caravan.
Great.
So this is another really exciting project. We were chosen by the National Endowment for the Arts to receive what is called an American Masterpieces Grant. It's a very prestigious grant, and we got the second highest award in the whole country. It's $70,000, and we're going to do a year-long celebration of the music of Charles Mingus in celebrating the opening of the Charles Mingus Youth Arts Center, which is in the Watts community, and Charles Mingus is a product of Watts, and so we're going to be having concerts both at the Warner Grand Theater in San Pedro and at the Madrid Theater in Canoga Park, as well as the Nate Holden Theater in Central City. And we're going to have panel meetings that, people that are experts. We're going to have films. It's really a photography exhibition. I know you're a big photography fan. And youth arts classes. We're going to, as you know, we have the Music LA program. So Music LA for Black History Month will be dedicated to Charles Mingus curriculum. So we're doing all sorts of activities throughout the city in conjunction with this grant, and it will be launched on September the 28th.
This year.
At Watts when we do the grand opening of the Charles Mingus Youth Arts Center.
Now, does any of the grant go to pay for city staff? Let's say, whether like the Bureau of Engineering, if you have a grant and you're doing a project, then they charge off that. I hope that's not the case with you. It's all maximized.
It actually will be the case in the next grant we're going to talk about, but the next grant is highly unusual. Most arts grants are sort of small, so our ability to get any kind of support for our ongoing operations is minimal at best. But in the next grant, we actually do have an opportunity.
All right, well, let's send this one to council, and let's call for the next grant.
Okay.
Or
The next
item.
grant is item number 9. And that is the report from Department of Cultural Affairs relative a $1.6 million grant from the National Endowment for the Arts for participation in the Guadalajara International Book Fair.
Okay, so this is a really, really special situation. Typically, a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, if you get a grant for $50,000 to $100,000, it's a big grant for them. It's highly unusual for them to give $1.6 million in a grant to anybody. And the reason that they are doing this is because the Guadalajara International Book Fair, which is the largest Spanish language book fair in the world, always chooses a guest of honor each year, and all of the arts from that country or region of the world are celebrated. Well, for the first time in 2009, they've chosen a city, which is Los Angeles, to celebrate. And so the NEA is actually giving us $1.6 million to support LA-based visual arts exhibitions, performing arts groups, and authors, to go and represent the city of Los Angeles so that throughout the fair, which is a 9-day event, the arts of Los Angeles will permeate the ongoing activities.
Very good.
And in this grant, we actually do have about $200,000 in staff salaries that we will be able to capture back from the NEA. So a percentage of my time, a percentage of Saul's time, et cetera. And they will pay for, us going to Guadalajara. They'll pay for...
Well, then we're paying you too, because you would be going there too, right?
Well, you're paying...
I don't know if we are. What I'm saying is I don't want to make sure it's done right, but I want to make sure that there's not a double
Oh, no,
call.
no, absolutely. So that
Right.
money...
You want to answer that, to clarify it?
Actually, I just wanted to make a comment. Jacqueline Wagner with the CAO's office.
Yes, Jacqueline.
And I'm the new budget analyst on cultural affairs.
Right.
I have not received any correspondence on this end, so I'm just a little nervous about, I just wanted to make the point that I'd like to see the communication from cultural affairs on the program cost and cost breakdown.
But basically, we wouldn't necessarily, if I am my salary is based on the general fund, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to hire somebody to administer the grant, I could understand that, but your existing staff,
Absolutely.
that's
And
existing
so
worse.
what...
I mean, I don't think it would charge you. I mean, it may make you or some eligible to go to participate to assist the artist, but
It's actually, both of those things are occurring. We are going to have to hire a project manager from the outside to mastermind this whole thing, because I don't have the staffing. However, on top of that, the NEA has agreed to compensate the city, which was something that was mandated by the mayor's office so that our salaries would be compensated. That money doesn't go to us as individuals, it goes into our trust fund that then we can use for other programming
I
activities.
understand, but I don't know if that sounds the right math that I know around here. I think I would say it this way, if this was a grant for $1 million given to the Bureau of Engineering to build a an art facility in a public park, then you find an engineer from the Bureau of Engineering, and he, like a lawyer, or she, attaches their time to that grant. But you're existing, and some of the staff that is existing, I don't see how you staff and management. So you figure it
There
out.
may be an opportunity to recover additional
Yeah.
other costs, and that would be good. I just wanted to say that I have not seen the paperwork, and it would be good to be able to have seen it.
What I'd like to do is have you meet before it comes to council, Madam Clerk.
Can we do that anyway and have it go to council, because we're on
It's
a
going to
really-
council, yeah.
Okay.
But you just got to meet before it gets there.
Oh,
'cause
that's fine.
Once you
Yeah,
come into
fine.
council and the item gets called, you'll be called to the center table. There'll be lights around. It may be warm and hot, beating down on your sleeve. So
We're just on a real tight.
I got it. We're sending it forward. I just want you to,
Okay.
I want
Yeah,
the
no
CAO
problem.
to look at it to make sure it has the correct procedures and
And
processes.
it's already been negotiated with the NEA, and they're completely fine with it, so it's
Yeah,
not
I'm
a
fine
problem
with it.
from
The CAO is fine with it. But this is a great job, whether you've taken off running. How long have you been now, the gentleman?
Today's my 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, and we have a certificate for you to salute you right here for a 1-year anniversary to Ogo Garai. Thank you for your
Thank you.
successful. So this is very successful. This is, I think, what all of us want, that kind of outreach and partnership. Thank you. Anything else?
you.
I believe there was a technical amendment on this item.
Technical amendment?
I think on the first page, I wanted to add language that had been deleted to include a monetary cap of $300,000 for the construction of the pavilion, just to record that in the report. So it's just a technical change.
And also record that you want to have the Cultural Affairs meet with LA Inc. to see what you can do to
Absolutely.
partner on this in some way or shape or form, because they're
Absolutely.
promoting Los Angeles.
Yes, absolutely. We're
Good.
really thrilled to, we work very closely with them. so-
Correct, but,
Yeah.
you know, when you put it in writing, by golly,
Absolutely.
somebody has to read it. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Great. And item number 10 was continued until September.
Okay, very good. At request of the applicant, was a request of the applicant.
Correct.
The notice came out. I saw the notice. Did you mail to a bunch of people?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And I noticed the postponement of the public hearing
Good,
until
very
September.
good. If you print one out, nice, but at request of the proponent, say that's who requested it, because I don't want people to think I requested. I'm open to everybody. All that being said, have a good afternoon. It is 1:50. Anything else, Madam City Attorney, Madam Clerk? Thank you. Adjourned. Bye-bye.